Gage from crushbackpain.com. Today we are going to talk about exercises to relieve sciatica. The first thing you need to figure out is if you have a directional preference. All this means is a direction of spinal movement that reduces the sciatic symptoms. So let's say you have sciatica on your right side that goes down to the mid-calf. If bending forward and sitting increase your symptoms, then it's likely that extension, which is bending backward, is going to decrease your symptoms. So your directional preference would be extension. Now, most people that are under 50, 55 years old are going to have a directional preference into extension. If you're 65 plus and you have spinal stenosis, then it may be the opposite, where extension increases sciatic symptoms and flexion reduces symptoms. But let's talk about extension as your directional preference first. So again, bending forward, sitting, increase your symptoms, then your directional preference is going to be extension. So you'll want to use extension movements as an exercise to reduce your sciatica pain. So the most common is the prone press up. I'm sure you've seen that. You'll find a lot of prone press up videos online because they work. Just some tips. You want to come up through a comfortable range. You don't have to force it into full extension. So, just do what you're comfortable with, and you can come up and hold for 2-3 seconds, and it's just a nice, easy up and down. If that hurts a lot, you can also just get in a prone position, and you can just hang out here. And what you're looking for with the press up or the prone position, you're looking for the pain to lessen in the leg or to come up. So if it's mid-calf, you do some prone press-ups and you get in that prone position. Say it starts at mid-calf and then you do that and it's to the back of the knee or the back of the thigh or even the buttock. That means it's centralizing. That's a good sign. That's what we want. So another thing that sometimes helps, again, say the sciatica's on my right side, you can get that right knee up kind of like this and then do the same thing. You can do your press-ups or you can just get in your prone position. That's a variation that's sometimes beneficial. I try it just this way first. If that's not working, try it this way. Some other prone exercise variations, you can just do it in standing too. You can just stand and just kind of gently work that extension. You can raise your arms overhead. That causes some real gentle extension through the lumbar spine. These are just all ways that you can get extension through the lumbar spine if that is your directional preference. Now, if your directional preference happens to be flexion, if you're older and you have spinal stenosis, or every once in a while we'll get somebody where they're younger but flexion actually centralizes their leg symptoms. If that's the case, then you're going to want to do more exercises where you're pulling your knees up to your chest, holding them or just gently rocking them, or you're getting on all fours and you're coming back and getting some flexion through that lumbar spine and just kind of gently working it back. You can also do lumbar flexion in sitting, in standing. But I want to be very clear, the majority of people I see with sciatica that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, extension is their directional preference. It's maybe 1 out of 10 or 15 people that are younger that have flexion as a directional preference. So that's more rare. If you don't have any directional preference, if flexion makes your sciatic pain worse, extension makes your sciatic pain worse, if multiple directions of movement make the pain worse and you don't have a directional preference, then you're going to want to focus more on lumbar stability training, lumbar stabilization exercises. And that's something to keep in mind too. So if you don't have a directional preference, don't worry, don't do extension, don't do flexion, focus on lumbar stability training.